Well, with Korea preparing to take its first steps under new leadership, the world's waiting to witness the country's next move. To discuss what that might be, let's talk to international consultant and author Adrian Salbucci. He's joining us live on the line from Buenos Aires. Hi, Adrian. South Korea's military is on high alert, as we've been reporting. The North also has reportedly carried out a ballistic missile test today. I mean, no matter how you look at it, unpredictability is often a word associated when you think of North Korea. How is it likely to play out now with regards to the North's relations with the rest of the world, do you think?
Well, I think, yes, definitely North Korea is a secretive country. It still remains to be seen whether the disappearance of Kim-Jong-Il and his replacement by his son Kim-Jong-Un will mean any change, especially amongst the younger generations. One can expect that there should be some easing up, especially this tendency of socially engineered massification where they do everything together, they even cry together. Now, I think that the important thing here to understand is that, for example, they talk about South Korea being on military alert. It's not South Korea that is on military alert. It's the United States that is actually using South Korea as a beachhead ever since the end of the Korean War. On the other hand, we have to understand, or should really be asking ourselves, will the military, the North Korean military, which are very powerful, 1 million strong army, 4 million reserve, nuclear arms, ballistic missiles, will they really be subordinated to the new government, or will they have a larger stance in this? I cannot see, however, any destabilization, because North Korea will undoubtedly not do that which China does not allow. We have to always interpret North Korea within the scope of the regional geopolitics of China itself, which is the key power in the region.
We've been watching the pictures, very graphic pictures all day of the mass outpouring of grief amongst the people there. A genuine outpouring of grief, yes?
I would have my doubts about that, but there probably is a lot of, as I say, socially engineered massification. If you look at the West with new eyes, you will always also see mass behavioral patterns in the West also, but since we're part of it, perhaps we don't see them. This is just a different type of social engineering, where, as I say, they even go so far as to crying together. It might be genuine, it also might be contagious. We all know that these mass outpourings can be contagious at times. But I don't think that is the key question right now. Probably the key question is, how will all of this unfold? What will China do? China has a very special relationship with North Korea. It's sort of a love-hate, strict father versus problem child type relationship. But as I say, in a way, North Korea is to China a bit of a wild card, just as Israel is a wild card to the United States. So when you start looking at these parallels and start trying to fathom what China will do, and even what Russia will do, because people forget that Russia, although very small, shares a tiny border with North Korea. But the key issue here is China, and I don't think China will allow this to be destabilized. They have operated very shrewdly internally in a transition, and hopefully they will promote that same internal transition that China has been doing. Maybe they will be able to promote it now with Kim Jong-Un as a new leader within North Korea, and hopefully the military, which is the backbone of power in that country, will follow along.
Adrian, you touched on it just now briefly. What is at stake for the West now, as you see it?
Well, what's at stake for the U.S. now, for the West as a whole, is how China will consolidate its power. You see, there is a grand geopolitical difference between the West and China. The West, basically the United States and Britain and its allies, want global imperial dominance. The Chinese do not want to be a dominant power globally. They want to be the dominant power regionally in Asia and in the Pacific area. And here, one of your reports touched a very specific point. Japan. You cannot understand North Korea or even China without relating it to the very difficult history in the 20th century of Japan, who invaded China and invaded Korea, and only after World War II, and they actually ousted from there. So Japan will probably have an important role, at least geopolitically, as being a spokesman for the West. And no doubt the Chinese will probably call the final shots here. I think that the U.S. and the U.K. will be very, very careful what they do. Even the Democrats have tried to approach approach North Korea. Madeleine Albright visited in 2000, Bill Clinton in 2009. But the Republicans, as we all remember in 2002, George W. Bush baptized North Korea as the axis of evil and the outpost of tyranny, which is basically just a lot of empty words.
Adrian Salbucci, thanks for your thoughts on the programme. Much appreciated joining us on the line there from Buenos Aires tonight.
Thank you.